Hi everyone, welcome to Ilana and Jamie, and this one's going to all be about unity and two hands.
Absolutely. So one of the big questions that we've been receiving over the last few videos is, Ilana, why are you still wearing that thing on your finger? So hopefully by the end of the session, all will be revealed except what's underneath the plaster. Okay, so when we talk about unity, I want you to follow in your mind the following example. Okay, so somebody has a knife and they're chopping something, and as they're chopping it, the knife falls and hits the other hand, and the other hand gets really irritated by this and says, "Hey, what are you doing?" and grabs the knife away and says, "Stop hitting me," and hits the knife back, it hits the hand back with the knife. And then the other hand grabs it back and says, "Excuse me, that's so rude," and slashes it. And then they get into a fight, and then one says, "I do all the work, I'm doing all the writing," and the other one says, "Really? Well, you really do all the writing, but like I don't get to do any of the writing, nobody even cares about me." And the other one says, "Really? Well, you get to wear the ring." And before the conversation is over, the hands are completely slashed to pieces and there's blood everywhere.
This all sounds a bit too familiar to me.
I hope not. Okay, we make 2 phone calls at that point. 1 to the ambulance and 2 to the psychiatrist, because that is not normative behavior. What happens really when you cut yourself is that the hand that's cut the other hand drops the knife, runs to the help of the cut hand, and the cut hand accepts the necessary help, and together they work on a healing solution.
You know, and another way of looking at this is something that our teacher said actually under our chuppah. He said, "Jamie," I don't know why he was pointing at me and not at Ilana, but he said, "Jamie, it's time to stop thinking me and to really start thinking we." Right? And so this example of the two hands and the slashing, thinking we, not me, what this really means is as follows. When things are going well in a relationship and we're remembering, right, that we really are unified, that we really are one, that we're together, that we're facing everything together. So you've got to take that opportunity to really try and build and internalize the fact that we are we more than we are me. And why is that? Because for the beginnings of our lives, up until we were married, until we started dating, whatever time of life you find yourself in, we're coping on our own and we're trying to deal with everything as best we can on our own. And you've got to get out of that and realize we're in a different way of looking at the world now, this kind of unified view. It's a strange concept, but we really are one. We're in 2 different bodies and this and the other. We're actually really one. You've got to think we. So what does that mean? How do you plan a holiday so that both of us who like really different things, how do we both come back super relaxed, but without having compromised? How do you plan for my parents to come or but in a way that doesn't cause any tension? How do we do this together in a way that there's no compromise? It's planned and worked together because we are together. You've got to internalize that stuff.
Thinking we means my success is not better than your success, but your success is as important to me as my success. So
because it's our success.
It's our success.
That's exactly the point.
Because it's 2 hands, but it's one person, and they're working together.
That's right.
So Jamie spoke about, building things together in a way that's really considerate of the other person. Often we have the we-me test when things are about to go wrong as well. You know that feeling when, like, you're or somebody else's husband is about to forget your birthday, right? Like, you've done it, right? And you're thinking, I wonder if they're going to remember it this time. I wonder if they love me. I wonder if they're going to forget. And then they forget, and then you get all upset, and then they have to apologize, and then it's this horrible feeling of like, wow, I scored a point I scored a point over you because I remember your birthday and you don't remember mine.
And
so
you
I'm
feel
the
as
better
a
spouse.
man, and you feel like as a man in that situation, you feel like, not only did I blow it, and I feel bad about that, but like she set me up to blow it as well. Like she, it's like you feel like she was waiting for me to make that mistake, and then I made it, and it's like doubly bad, and creates distance.
That's right. But if the husband fails or the wife fails, then they both failed because they're on the same team. You can't score points against someone who's on the same team. Slashing the other hand doesn't help when you're one unit. So maybe you have to ask yourself the question: a success is going to be a remembered and celebrated birthday over here, a husband having gotten the right present, a wife having reminded him that it's a birthday, and that isn't called, it doesn't count. That call, it counts very much because he's remembering your birthday, but you're remembering that you want him to succeed as a husband.
Right, now I expect a whole bunch of comments after this with people saying things like, well, what about this and what about this one? And you're right. Of course there are many, many details here, but trust us, yeah? Ilana coming forward, or me coming forward, because believe it or not, it's not always one way, yeah? And saying, something clever like, the kids really want to figure out how to celebrate my birthday. So chat with them, because I want them to feel like they did something special, right? That's a really clever way. For example, it may sound cliche, but it really works. You can do it in a subtle way that doesn't take, she doesn't know whether I've forgotten or not. She has no idea. She hasn't explored that. She hasn't tried to guilt me, vice versa, of course, both ways.
That's right. But a success for me is when both succeed, and when one of us fails, it hurts us both, because we're really a set of hands. It's just one unit at the end of the day. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for a mentality where we remember that we're two separate people, that we're functioning in one unit.
In one unit, and our success is the success that we're looking for. So how did this happen to Ilana's hand?
So that example that I gave out of nowhere about a knife? If anybody wants a great recommendation for a sharp knife, call me later, okay? So that's what happened. I was cutting something in the kitchen, and I
really badly,
lost a bit of finger.
Really bad. And I got to tell you, I'm normally pretty grossed out by that type of stuff, but it was so weird, especially because we wanted to speak about this, But like, my first reaction was just, I grabbed Ilana's hand and I, yanked it up over her arm so that the blood would stop flowing. And we called Hatzola, the ambulance service, and they came and they took care of it. And it's been painful and messy, but it was okay. But my reaction was like, I didn't think about me at all. It was just, this is my hand.
That's right. And the worst part of everything was that I wasn't allowed to wash up for a whole month.
It's terrible.
So thank you for that, Jamie.
Okay.
But we, not me.